Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rumble and Roar podcast. I'm your host, Lanoria, and this is my wonderful sister, Linda, and we are going to sit and talk about Mother's Day. It's appropriate. Mother's Day is here, and we're just going to reminisce together. I remember doing Mother's Day podcast by myself, and it was very emotional for me. And anytime Mother's Day come around is very emotional for me. I have not gotten over losing my mom. So, but my life coach and someone else, a very wise woman, said, look, you're going to just have to start doing things and talking, and you know, the feeling of loss probably will never go away, but it gets better. So if you just, try, because guys, I would just, Mother's Day for me, I want to just stay in my bed and just be left alone. But I'm going to try not to do that this year. And Linda and I are going to sit here and just talk about some fun things. And actually, I have some questions that I pulled up that we're just going to go over. And then I have some facts about Mother's Day. And you know what? Let's start with the facts about Mother's Day. Let me see. Where are they? The facts about Mother's Day. Let's see. Now I'm going to have everything all mixed up. But let me see if you knew. Let me know if you knew these facts. Because some of them I was like, oh, okay. Some of them I was like, yeah, duh. Okay. The first one, the term mom was invented by babies. I think we pretty much knew that. Mom. Okay. The date for Mother's Day change each year. While the date changes each year, the timing stays the same. We celebrate this holiday yearly on the second Sunday of May. This year, Mother's Day will be May 11th, 2025. Of course, we knew that one. We knew that. The most recent history of Mother's Day started with pacemaker Ann Jarvis. During and following the U.S. Civil War, Ann Jarvis, or is it Anna? Anna Jarvis made a dedicated effort to foster communities and friendships between mothers on both sides of the Civil War. Ann Jarvis, daughter of Anna, created the official holiday. Anna Reeves Jarvis wanted to honor her mother, so she established an intimate day of observance and formed the foundation of today's holiday with the very first Mother's Day celebration. Wow, back in 1908.
So that means this has been going on since.
That's a long time.
Yes.
Okay, Anna Jarvis later tried to stop what Mother's Day became. She tried to stop it, and you'll see why, and you will agree, because when I read it, I agreed. It's like, it's not even what okay, let me just read it. Mother's Day became commercialized, opportunity for retailers to sell flowers, chocolate, and cards.
Yes.
Anna Reeve Jarvis felt that this was distracting from the original idea of a personal and intimate celebration of her mother. She defies this by starting walkouts and boycotts, and even express her condemnation of the First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, for using this day as a means of fundraising. Jarvis eventually used all her money on this fight and died at the age of 84.
Wow.
But you know what? It's terrible that when you have something as good as just celebrating Mother's Day, and it's always somebody trying to turn it into something for bad, and it's absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's all it right now is. To me, Mother's Day is every day. So let's just get that clear right now.
True, very true.
But she wanted that to be something special, and they turned it into
a three-ring circle.
Yes.
Money,
it's like
purposes.
It's about money and chocolate and flowers and stuff like that.
Sadly enough, that's what the world is coming to.
Yes.
Money.
That's all
Greed.
it's about. Greed and not caring.
Yeah.
Carnations and their special meanings on Mother's Day. Anne Reeve Jarvis, Anna. Her mother's name was Anne. Her name is Anna Reeve Jarvis. Used the carnation flowers on Mother's Day to show whether one's mother was still alive. A red carnation shows she was, and a white meant she passed. So that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So when I started giving out, well, I don't give out flowers. I don't do anything now. Like I said, I just, do you call it bitter, or am I still mourning? What am I? Okay.
It's grieving.
Yeah, grieving. I just don't care. I just don't care. Mother's Day is not fun. And it's so
easier to get
unfair.
through if you don't feed into the feeling of missing mom.
But you know what? I don't even try. I can see, and I actually, my daughter, last year, she brought it to my attention. It just seems like out of the blue, even when I'm not thinking about it, it just comes around this time. And she looked at me last year. She said, Mom, I know what's wrong. She said, you're thinking about grandma. You're missing grandma. I said, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? She says, Mother's Day is in a week, and you're starting to act, standoffish. I didn't want to talk to people. I was snapping. And this year, I just started crying.
But why are you angry?
I'm not. I just started, and this year.
You know what? I wouldn't call it angry. It might be the way you grieve.
Right. I was just crying this year.
Yeah.
And I was angry with myself. And my daughter said, Mom, why are you doing this? Because I feel like I should not still be doing it. I shouldn't be still feeling this way, because I accepted it. I accepted it.
I did.
I appreciate God allowing Mom to be here.
Yes.
And all of us was we were all seasoned.
Yes.
I don't tell my age, but we were all seasoned.
Yeah.
And it was like, thank you, Lord, because you could have taken our mom when we were 12, 15, some young, like some people lose their parents. Yeah. But he waited till all of us was and got Mother's wish. Remember, Mama had a wish.
Yeah.
She said, because I asked her, I said, what was your wish when you start having kids, Mom? She said, my wish was that, Lord, please allow me to be here long enough so my children can be old enough to take care of themselves if I'm not here. I don't want nobody else raising my kids.
Yeah,
and she said, when that day came, she said, Lord, I would love to see some of my grandkids, Yeah. And then that day came, and she was like, Lord, I'm here. And if you would allow, I would love to see great grands. And, I'm okay though. If you want to take me now, I'm good, because you've given me everything I wanted. Mama saw great grands. I mean, yes. So, yeah. But like carnations, I didn't know that the red one showed that she was alive, and the white one shows that she's passed. It's good information to know, guys, especially if it's a men watching this, and it's good to know for women as well, but I'm not giving nobody a Mother's gift. My mother has passed, and that sounds terrible. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just don't care. I ain't giving nobody nothing. And my children, and they don't deserve for me to go into this. I don't know. So y'all just bear with me.
It's just the way that you deal with it. Everybody deal with it differently. Mm-hmm. No one will fault you for it.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't care if they did, because I just don't.
I don't entertain the fact that my kids do Mother's Day.
They do. Yeah. Well, but you're their mother.
I don't,
my kids give me gifts.
My Mother's Day is to let me be. Yeah. Let me sit at home. Let me watch my TV, have coffee in the evenings instead of the morning, and hear my movie without sound effects outside. I love
sound effects. She's talking about noise, y'all.
Grandkids and then outdoors. Yeah, I'd like to be by myself, and I don't think that's a selfish thing.
No, that's what you enjoy.
I do.
Yeah. Now,
I do.
I don't enjoy going out to dinner. Sometimes, I'm not going to say I don't, but now, ever since Mom passed, no, I don't want to go out to no dinner. And besides, I think even before she passed, I went out just to take Mom out, but I didn't like it. Everybody and their grandma be out there, and the food, they're rushing the food, and it's too many people, and I just don't like it. So, But let's say good stuff if I can try to keep some positive stuff. But those were the fun facts, guys, about Mother's Day. But I got some questions, Lynn, and we're just gonna reminisce, and we're gonna answer these questions the best that we can. Like I said, I always say this, I do have the questions, and I got some from other people, some off of Google, just some. And but even though I have them here and I read them, I still have to think about because I didn't write down. Sometimes I'll write a little something to what it means to me. Sometimes I didn't. This time I didn't, because y'all, this is a whole different thing for me. Because right now, to be honest, I want to be honest, I feel kind of numb. Most of my podcasts, y'all know I'm bubbly and I'm smiling and I'm just, no, I'm not feeling that right now, and it's okay. It's okay. Mm-hmm. So that, yeah, I feel numb, but I'm going to do this because it might help someone else, you know? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Describe your mom. And if you want me to go first on these questions since I've already, or
you already,
since I've already seen them, and I can go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Describing mom. See, I should have never did this.
It's okay. Take your time.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Describing mom. To me, the strongest woman I've ever known, and probably will ever meet. There wasn't anything that she could not handle, talk to you about, tell you about, or do for us in any form. She was always there, positive all the time. She corrected you when you was wrong. You didn't get away with anything. Mm-hmm. That is the epitome of a great mom. Mm-hmm. She did her job as a mother, as a secret keeper, peacemaker, you name it. She was there for it all. No complaints. Mm-hmm. Awesome woman.
Well, let me describe my mom. My mom to me is just love, unconditional love. Everyone she meets, I don't know anyone who did not love my mother, because she was just that kind of person. She just loved everyone. She helped everyone. She was just a nice, kind person. And I know a lot of people are out there probably thinking, oh, well, everybody feel that way about their mom. Your mom is probably not. No, my mother, for the ones that are watching that knew her, that knows her, and whoever met her, they will tell you, yes, she was absolutely someone who loved everyone, not just her children, but her children. What's really good, she loved us all the same. It's 6 of us, and she loved us all the same. It wasn't like she showed favoritism anywhere. You just felt love all the time. Yes. Okay, I'll go to the next question. What do you love most about your mom?
She was quite comforting, very comforting. Mm-hmm. She never showed a bad day. Mm. You may have one, but she knew how to fix it with just simple words. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell, she had the answer. She had the answer. And that's why I miss her so much, because, oh my goodness, I need, sometimes when I'm in a bind, or just away, and I need somebody to talk to, she knew exactly what to say. And she just fixed it. And now when you don't have anyone to fix it, I do have God, and I go to him in prayer. But having someone in the person to tell you is better. And well, not better, but just, I know what y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I'm not going to even try to get it the way you can get it from me right now. Because like I told you, this is difficult. But let me stop. I'm not going to even say that again, because I'm going to be all right. Okay. What is your mom's favorite thing to do? We should both agree on this. What did Mama like doing most? Cooking.
Well, yeah. That's one favorite thing. We can't even put it down to one favorite thing.
Right.
But what is your mom's favorite thing to do? She loved to cook. Mm-hmm. That's sure. That's for sure. I took that from her. I love to cook as well. And play spades.
Yes.
Mama love a game of spades and pity pat.
Yeah.
And gym rummy. Mama loved to play cards.
She did.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to do with your mom?
Eat. Yeah. She was a great cook. And I enjoyed everything she cooked. Everything.
Okay, my favorite thing to do with Mama was, she's so damn funny. I love watching movies with Mom. Mom is so funny. Let me see, Training Day. Lord, Mama would get mad at the actor and not like the actor because they were a good actor. And we watched Training Day with Denzel Washington. Everybody know on this planet, off this planet, around this planet, in this planet, that is the baddest actor on this planet. Okay, to me. Okay, he played in Training Day. My mother saw that movie and she was like, I don't like him no more. No, I don't like him. Every time we see his face or see him in another movie, she said, I don't like him anymore. And I was like, Mom, why? Because he was just a bad man. He was a bad man in that movie. You know that movie when had all them drugs and he was a police officer. He was a dirty cop. I said, Mom, Training Day. Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him no more. Mama, I said, you can't do that. When you don't like an actor because of the way their character were and they made you feel that way because they were really bad, that means they were a good actor. Mama, you can't just like him. But you couldn't take that from her. She was like, I don't like him. And it's so funny. Denzel, I love you. And another one, y'all already know Halle Berry is the bomb.com. She's a bad actor as well. Bad actor. My mother is, do you remember what she says about Halle Berry? Please forgive me, Holly. I'm just telling the truth. She means no harm. And my mother was in her older years when she would say stuff like this. But she was like, every time I see her, she's screwing somebody. On every film she's on, she's screwing somebody. She's always taking her clothes off. I said, Mom, she's a really, really good actor. Yeah, she used to be, but it seemed like every time I see her now, she's taking her clothes off. But I'm going on and on. But she was funny when we watched stuff. She's like, she would just chop up the actor from doing their job. Okay, let's see. What does your mom like to play with you? When she wanted to play things, what did she like to play with you?
I don't know. We did more conversating than playing. We played when the family was there, but when it was just, a few of us.
Left, right, center.
We did.
Yeah, Mom liked to play that.
We did.
And Pokino.
Yeah, favorite.
Yes.
That had to be played at every sitting.
Everywhere.
When we gathered.
Yes.
That was the one game we didn't leave.
Pokino. If y'all have never heard of Pokino, it's such a good family game.
Yes.
My mother loved that game. It's sort of like bingo, guys, but you play with cards, and it is super. I mean, and it's the whole family can play. I mean, not just mom, dad, and the children. No, cousins, everybody can get a card. It is so cool, so cool. What does Mom do that's silly? I could not think of anything. Let me see. I know certain things that she said was silly.
Yeah, she would say some funny things.
Yes. Especially when she got older, Mama was saying all kinds. My mother was something else when she got older, and it was so. That's what makes me know that I'm going to grow old gracefully and not care, not care. Mama would. When
the grandkids come over, she was like, come here, let me tell you something. And then she would boo in their ear. And I used to bring my grandkids over there. But she had a good silly spirit about her.
Yeah, but
it was always fun.
This silly thing that she would say, you're going to say, oh, yep. You just didn't remember it. Mom would always, when somebody do something stupid or say something stupid or she'll see something stupid, look at him over there looking like a broke dick dog. Yeah. And I'm like, Mom, what does a broke dick dog look like? Oh my goodness, and where did you get that from? Remember? She would say that a lot. Okay, when were you scared or sad? And what did your mom do to cheer you up? When was something that she did where you were afraid and she comforted you, or you were sad?
At her sister's funeral.
Gwen's?
No, The one in California, Auntie Bunk.
Bunk?
Yeah, Mom and her was closer than most. And when we flew up there, for some odd reason, I unconsolable. I couldn't stop crying, and I was crying because she had invited me to come back.
And you never did go?
I never did. Every year I would say, I'm coming. I'm going to visit. And then I got that phone call, and it was just over for me. And she was like, we're going to go up there. I'm like, Mom, I don't even know. When I got there, I don't think I remember anything about it other than us flying up there. I cried the whole time. And she was right there the whole time. You're going to be okay.
It's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anytime I was scared or sad, to be specific, I'm not sure, because anything that I was afraid of or sad about, she'd come and say just the right things. And I felt like I could conquer the world after the talk or whatever she said. But I do, I remember when I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I said, Mom, I'm scared. And she said, I got to say it in my mother's voice, y'all. Yeah, I got to get into character on this one. What you scared of? And I said, Mom, this was the only thing that I actually am afraid of, even when I was younger, knowing that when I got older, it was nothing that I was afraid of except for having kids, because I wasn't even afraid of getting married. You know, I wasn't afraid of doing anything, because married, you can get a divorce and it's over. You could get something and say, forget it, I don't like it. Anything you can change it, but a child, you can't put a child back. Once you've had a child, you have to, you should. I'm not going to say you have to, because a lot of people don't, but you should do the right thing with your child and raise that child and hang in there and do whatever it takes, because the child didn't ask to be here. So I knew that when I got pregnant, and that responsibility of being a mother was going to be on me, I had to do it and do it right. And that's just who I am anyway. When I do something, I try to do it right. And I was like, Mom, I'm scared. I'm scared of labor. I'm scared of this. She said, girl, if anybody else can do it, you can do it. And she said that to me all the time about everything. And I said, Mom, you just saying that because you're just trying to make me feel better. She said, no, I'm saying that because it's the truth. Yeah. I had 6 kids. She said, and you can do it. And other people are laying down having kids. People are smaller than you, bigger than you, with more elements. So if everybody else can do it, you can do it too. Yep, you're going to feel so I'm not going to sit here and tell you ain't going to feel nothing. Yeah, you're going to go through what you go through for labor, because that's what it is. But it's going to be all right. You can do it. And I was so really, really scared about that one. Yeah.
She'll give you what you need.
And I remember her being there with you, with Jazz, because you were in a real bad way. You were cursing out doctors, and you were in so much pain. You were talking about, telling the father, pay the doctors, pay the doctors.
Yeah, it would, whatever they were giving me didn't work.
It didn't. And Mom was like, Lord, have mercy. She was praying over you, and I was just looking crazy because, I wasn't having children at the time, but. Ooh, yeah, she
always
knew.
A positive.
And she was just praying. She was like, Lord, help my daughter. She is going through a lot. And you were in a way. Okay, what does a mother mean to you? And I think this is almost like the other one, but no, it is different. This question is, what does a mother mean? What does it mean, I guess, to be a mother, or what does a mother mean? Because that's the question is, what does being a mother mean to you? Being a mother to me, living to my fullest potential, because my children, being a mother, make me just really go, say it, Nora. Go after everything and make sure it's right, and I want to do it for my children. I just want them to have, so I'm just doing everything to the fullest. If that makes sense, does it?
It does.
Okay.
Being a mother is a life-altering change.
Well, yeah, that's so true.
You go through so much.
A good mother.
But in being a mother, don't expect a lot. Just give a lot, because you never know.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, something in what you may say may change the attitude, the way a child grows up and become more than you expect.
Don't expect a lot. Just give a lot. Because I I'm not going to say, yes, I was. I'm going to say when they got older, I was expecting them to at least acknowledge and know and remember and respect and all of that. When they get grown, girl, we gonna get to that part. Ooh, they just get real different when they get grown. Okay. This was going to be a question if there was other people here, but everyone already know that our mother is passed. It says, is your mother alive? And of course our answer is no. At what age did you become a mother?
22.
Yeah. What age did I become a mother? Was 34. I was late, guys, but I don't want to say late.
No.
I want to say God's plan is perfect.
Always.
And he knew to give me children at in a later time, because at 22, I had no business with anybody's kid, nor less my own kid. I don't need to have no kids at 22. I was doing so much at 22 years old, and and a lot of it wasn't even nice.
Yeah.
So he had to wait till.
I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready?
I knew what I needed to do because
like Kevin Hart. I wasn't ready.
Kids. I started babysitting kids the minute I hit Atlanta. So I knew everything I need to do. But when it became yours, that's a different feel, a different fit, a different mindset, a different everything. You do get scared.
Do you remember what you just said? When it's yours, it's different.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do.
Oh my God.
Sometimes we have got to go through something.
Yes, and you told me that. Of course, Lynn had her kids before I did, and when I tell you, her daughter, her baby girl Jasmine, was in the car. We were going somewhere, and Jasmine was just screaming and screaming and screaming. There was nothing wrong with her. Lynn had just changed her, gave her, just did everything for her. And we pulled over to the side to see if everything was okay. She was fine, all of that. She put her back in the seat. She just didn't want to be back there in that daggone car seat. And she was, why? I didn't have kids at the time. But I remember saying, now ain't nothing wrong with her ass. Pop her. And Lynn said, no, Nora, you need to have your own children. You don't just pop a child because they cry. I said, I didn't mean to beat her. I said, she doing that for no reason. She said, when you have your own, you will see. You don't just do that. And I was like, dang, she just crying. You can't even hear the music or whatever. But she was so right. Because now it has changed. She be telling me, I'll call her and tell her something about these kids. And she's like, well, what did you tell me? And I was like, well, no, Lynn, because she said, now you know. I said, yes, you just can't do things when it's your child. And you try to go over and beyond and you try to give them everything. But that's the problem. Yeah. We're going to get to that too. We're going to get to that. Okay. Was it hard because you were young? And I'm gonna ask me, was it hard because I 34 is not old having a child, but a lot
normal time.
Yeah, that's what Junior said.
Yeah, that's the normal time.
That's what he said. I said I'm the only one in the family, and I am probably the whole generation that started having children in my 30s and after. Everybody else was in their 20s. And Junior said, no, Nora, you having them at the right time. You're going to really be the grandmother at the age of a grandmother when you're a grandmother. Grandmothers today are 25. You know, I'm exaggerating just a tad.
Far from it, 34, 35,
they're 35, 36. They are grandmothers already. Yeah. He said, no, you're going to be the real grandmother, like Big Mama with us. And I was like, yeah, I guess I can look at it like that. But all of my siblings had their children in their 20s. And I'm the last one, and I was over 30 when I had mine. And even my cousins, they were having kids. But God was like, no, baby, I can't give you nothing to do other than what you're doing right now, and you need to get your life together because, yeah, buddy, you knew I was something to reckon with around in my 20s. Do you have a good support system, or did you have a good support system with your children?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, mom,
family,
everybody.
Everybody. Yeah. It truly was a village.
We all was a village.
They tell you, whoever made that statement, it takes a village, knew what they were talking about. That still stands true to today. You need a village and some.
Yes. Okay. Do you like being a mother?
Sometimes it's questionable.
Okay.
But I do. I never regret it. But my issue was I wanted my kid to myself. I didn't want their dads around.
You didn't want the dads around?
No, I wanted them to myself. I wouldn't let them take them nowhere. I wouldn't let them go. It's mine too, yeah, but I would clean the house.
A lot of women are like that.
I used to clean the house.
Yes, she did. She would have her in the daggone thing, holding her while she's sweeping the floor and cleaning the house. You know, the thing that you walk around with.
Yes. Yeah. He was like, put the child down. She's fine. Yeah. Let me hold her. No, I was crazy about mine. I did.
Yeah.
I did. No. It was a bit much for me, but that was my first. I did it, and I did my second. I was worse because it's like. Yeah,
you were.
Yeah, because they were far apart. So. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was never a bother
because we love kids.
Yes.
Yeah, and we wanted our children. We wanted our children from our mom. She was such a nurturer.
Yes.
Such a nurturer. And I remember with my last with my baby, my baby girl. I would never put her down. And I know this will sound really crazy to you guys, but I couldn't make it up. And I'm here to tell you this is the truth. My mother came over. And she said, Nora, put that baby down. Yeah. Put that baby down, Nora. Every time I see you, you got that baby in your arms. And I said, no, I don't, Mama. And she said, yes, you do. Put her down. I put my baby down, guys, at 8 months. She didn't even know how to crawl. She didn't know how to crawl. Now, my son was walking at 8 months. I took him up to my job because people would not believe it. They thought I was just bragging because it was my first child and I was telling them how fast he was growing and stuff. And they were like, damn, here she come with these damn baby stories again. And she lying, that baby ain't walking. And I had to bring him up there to let them see. But he was walking at 8 months. But I knew my daughter was going to be my last child. So I was holding on. You just be holding on to that baby.
Yes.
And my mother told me to put her down. And I did. And she put her arms out like this, like, what I'm supposed to do down here? I've never been down here. What in the world? She didn't even know how to get up on her arms and do this. And it just shocked the crap out of me. And I said, oh my gosh. How could I not see this or not know this? I mean, I was really into the zone, just holding on to her. So yeah. We're special, y'all. We're special. Okay, so let me see. And let me ask that question to myself. Do I like being a mother? Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, is being a mother. I love it, love it, love it. I loved it when they were really, really young. Now that they're older, I still love being a mother. This is such a wonderful thing, being a mother. But they are terrible when they get older because they feel like you don't know anything anymore. And I have to think back when they're saying stuff to me. Did I do my mother like this? I know that there were times she would say something. I was just rebellious and doing just because I was fast. I was just a fast girl. But the disrespect and the entitlement and the crap bullshit that the millennials and Gen Zs do now is hard for me. But I still love them, and I still love being a mother. I wouldn't trade this for the world, old or my children, young or old. I just love my children. But now that they're older, like you said, it's not questionable. Do we love them? Oh, no, it's being a mother. Do we love being a mother? We still love being a mother, but they really, you have to choke them out sometimes, and you at least want to anyway.
Different phases become difficult. But,
okay. What's the hardest thing about being a mother? And I just answered that. For me, older, when they're older, because they back talk.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, wow, why are you, how do you say you're playing with my gangster? You don't think that.
Trying me.
Trying my gangster. You trying my gangster. It's like, see, And I don't want to be violent, but now I understand. Back in the day, when I do believe that you should communicate and talk to your children, but back in the day, my parents, they say something, you're gonna do it, period. Yeah. But because now they debate with you, they want to have the last word, they just do certain things and they test your gangster, like you really still can't do anything. And it's like, if you weren't my child, you'll be hurt right about now. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you, yeah. No, that was my question. Okay. I love being a mother. Okay. What is the hardest thing about being a mother when they grow up?
Yeah. Watching them grow up to be something you did not expect or did not want.
Girl, you better say that.
That is the most difficult thing to a mother. Even the best mother on the planet.
And watch them not care after you don't put all that shit in them and say, please,
It's very hard.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes you just gotta let them do what they do and fall flat before you give them the hand, because they're gonna do what they want to do. You just hope with the training they came up with, they have a little bit of that still in them. Some do, some don't.
They do have it in them, but they won't use it, and they don't use it. It's just like, I taught you this. Why do you purposely do the opposite? I guess the same reason like we did, but their shit is on another level.
But that's why when you grow up and have your kids, you're going to see everything you did when you were a kid to your mother.
No.
It's going to play back. I promise you.
No.
The cycle is always repeating itself with the new generation.
There might be some truth in that. However, the stuff that these children do today, this entitled bull crap, this talking back, wanting the last word wasn't even a thing.
There was no comment when we were growing up.
No comment, a last word. They want the last word when you're saying something. It's like, be quiet. I don't care how grown you are. I don't want to hear no more. Yeah, but
they're going to see it in their lifetime with their kids. I'm telling you, you're going to get what you gave through your kids. You remember how I tell you when you're going to see it.
Yeah.
There is no escaping.
Mama used to always say, you'll see it again.
Yeah.
You'll see it again.
And the thing about it is, it's not going to come to them the way they put it to you. It's going to be even difficult for them. They're going to like, where is this coming from? I didn't raise you to be that way. That's the famous, I didn't raise you to be that way. No, you didn't. But you did it to your parents. So
I do not remember doing.
No, not in the 60s and no.
I don't remember doing the stuff that the children do today to my mother. First of all, I couldn't.
Oh God,
I wouldn't even think to do it, but I couldn't. So no, the stuff they do today is just totally different. This is a whole new world.
Yeah, I think changed it. Generation X.
Yeah.
Nowadays
Generation A to Z.
This is I truly call them, and they laugh so much, these kids at school, because you see all different kinds. And I said, you know what, you guys is something else. And she's like, what? I said, y'all are highly disrespectful and have no idea that this is going to be something that you see again in your adult.
I hope I'm alive to see my children disrespect them, and that's sad, guys. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I want to see them. And when I say that, certain things that they say and do, I said that's disrespectful. Why are you saying that? Well, I'm voicing myself. Don't voice yourself like that. But they really do feel in this day and time that it's not disrespectful. It's just who they are. But it's disrespectful to me. So if I tell you it's disrespectful, when I tell you not to do it and you do it again, that's what I mean. Let me make it clear. That's what I mean by I want to be alive to see your child do it to you. And I'm going to be right there to say, don't get stupid, because this is what you did. And I said, remember, you're going to see it again. And for the record, guys, while we're on this, I know I'm going to the left, but I'm going to bring it back. A lot of children look at their parents and say, you do so much for the grandkids. You wouldn't do anything for me. You always, if they ask you for money, you could be broke and you'll find some money for them, but I can ask you and you won't give it to me. And why do you let them get away with more than you let us get away with? You would dare do all of that stuff. I got to get on the end of the sofa for this. Listen, guys, if you're a parent, you can relate. But if you're not and you become one, or you're going to become one, know this. When you are a parent, husband and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, whoever, you got a child and you're raising that child and you're trying to do it right, you are so concentrated on trying to feed them, keep them clothed, keep a roof over their head, keep a running, dependable car. You are trying to raise them. You ain't got no time for no BS from the little child. You're trying to take them to practice. You're trying to just raise them and do things.
Keep them alive.
Keep them alive. Teach them the right things. So you really don't have a whole, and take them on family vacations, show them the world, just do stuff. So you're being a parent and you're teaching them. The teaching part is over. When the grandkids get here, we ain't teaching them. It's your daggone turn to teach them. So it's our turn to sit back and spoil and have fun and do what we need to do, you know? So don't get mad and say, well, you didn't do all of this stuff, you know, when we were growing up. Why not? We were busy raising you. We were busy working. We were busy doing those things. That's why the grandkids get more. I just had to come up for that one because it said a lot of times, wow, if I had did that, you would have did whatever. Yeah, because I was tired. I was working all day. And when I said sit down, that's what I meant. And when you didn't, had to do something about it because you got to listen. Got to listen. If my grandbaby don't listen, it's like, go over there to your mama. Go to your mama.
Absolutely.
Go to your dad, right?
Take them back home.
Yes. Okay. Did you spend a lot of time with your mother? Did you and do you? Well, we can't now, but when she was alive, you did. I know you did. She's the one that spent a whole bunch of time with my mom.
I did.
You did.
And I made sure the grandkids were there too. Because Fish Fry on Fridays, never missed one. So yeah, we did.
You, out of all of the siblings, you spent more time with mom.
She was just fun. I mean, there wasn't nothing you could not talk to her about.
Yeah.
It was just good. And then, you know, I also went for cooking lessons. So I always went for cooking lessons. She'd be cooking. I'm like, what you cooking? And I get over there. I wasn't a good cook.
I'm a good cook.
I am now.
Yeah.
But I watched her do this. So we did spend a lot of time.
You should have known how to do a lot because you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did I spend a lot of time? I did when my children were young because Mama used to go on family vacations with us. And then that stopped for a while. She did that for about 5 years. And then I stopped spending a lot of time. And I think that's what I regret, because when they're alive, you just take stuff for granted. You don't realize, and people tell you, girl, you better spend as much time with your mom as you can. But I did not care for her husband, not my dad. I didn't care for her husband, so I didn't want to go around because I didn't want to catch a charge. And I love my freedom, and I loved my children, and I loved my husband, and so I wanted to stay out of jail, so I stayed away. But someone told me, girl, don't let nobody keep you from your mother. I don't care if you don't like who she with or you don't like nothing. You go and be with your mom. And everyone knows who is a Facebook friend of mine know that before my mother passed, I would post almost every Sunday. I would take my mother out to dinner every Sunday. She looked forward to it too. And that's when she was starting early part of dementia. Not bad, but she was starting to repeat herself. But she remembers on Sundays it was time to go to dinner with me. And that brings me a lot of joy and the pictures and stuff. So yeah, I did. To answer this question, did you spend a lot of time? I did. I spent a lot of time with the kids small and then at the end. Okay, which is harder, raising your older children or your younger children? Which one? Which one is harder, raising them as older or younger?
Older.
Yeah.
Because they feel like, I know everything, I can do it. I'm good with that. All I'm gonna do when you fall is say, need a hand? That's it. I'm not getting you out of trouble. I'm not paying no bail money. I told them as long as they were in school and doing things because their friends were doing it, I will not turn your lunch money into bail money. Whatever you do to get there, you're going to have to go through it. If you were wronged, I would help. But other than that, you choose to be grown, then you need to be, as the preacher say, on your own, away from home, and don't need a loan.
And don't need a loan.
That's when you're grown. Other than that, follow the rules.
That's what Curry and Lee used to say.
I could not stop laughing.
Yes.
The rest of the church when he said that.
So you grown,
sense.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes, it does.
As long as you need help from a parent, you're not grown.
It was definitely, it's definitely harder when they're older because you worry more. And now I remember when I got married early, and my mother used to worry about me going. I went straight to Germany after I got married at 18, and she worried all the time. And now when my children go out and they're grown, I worry until I can see them again, because that world is, it's just different. But the answer to the question is, when they're older, it comes with a lot. You just worry about them a lot. Their decisions. Yes. You thought their decisions were hard and that they were going to be peer pressured and bullied when they were young. Shit. Times that shit by 50. Oh, stop cursing. Times that stuff by 50 when they get older. It's like you just worry because it's a big kids game. Yeah.
As they grow up, you can still dictate what goes on in their lives. But as they turn into teenhood, they call what the old folks say, smelling themselves. They want to try you. Yeah. But understand, you're not grown, you're not gone, you're not on your own.
Right.
So go to your room.
Right.
Or go through the door.
And don't back talking huffy and puffy, because then the 70s and 60s have to come out of seasoned women and old schoolers. And if you don't know what that is, it'll be all right. The ones that are seasoned, they'll know what I'm talking about. And this was the other one. Do you talk to your children when things seems to be unreal? If they've done something and you're like, what in the world? Do you talk to them, or do you talk at them, or do you give them a chance? What?
No, I talk to them. And as a grown, older kid, it's an everyday thing. What you thinking? Did that make sense to you? I mean, just crazy stuff. And they know it don't make sense.
I have to learn to talk. I think we do talk, but when I get to a certain point to where, okay, that didn't make sense, you done said too many dumb things, now my brain is not computing, and now I'm gonna talk to you and you can't talk, and then I start talking at you instead of to you, and that's what the problem comes. And my children will tell me that. They're like, look, that's just unfair. You want to say what you have to say. We're grown. What are you doing? What am I doing is talking to you right now. I'm gonna need you to be quiet, and I need to learn to do better with that part, because that's something mom them didn't do with us. They just said it better be done. Period. I know. Okay, do you think your mother was a good mother?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
1000%.
What do you wish that you could say to your mother right now?
I love you and I miss you.
And I wish you were back.
I'm not the same without you.
Right. And I wish you were here. No, you're not the same. No, I don't think any human being is the same once you've lost your mother. You're just not the same. You're just not the same, guys. What are some things you realize now that you wish you knew then, when she was here, when you were younger, she was just trying to tell you? What do you wish that you knew? What are some things you realize now that you wish you knew then?
Taking everything she said to heart. Sometimes you hear what's being said, but then you go do something, and then that's where that "I told you so" comes from. That if I had paid attention and actually applied what she was giving me, I think I would have turned out differently. Yeah, I'm sure I would have.
And I should have just understood and knew that everything she said was the right thing.
In your best interest.
Yeah. In my best interest, and that it was right. She wasn't telling you to waste her time and her breath. She was telling you because it was right. And when I do it with my children, I'm just looking like, okay, certain things I do see and say, I did that. I did that shit right there.
But see, that's the conversation.
And I'm going to let you fall. I'm going to let your ass fall, just like I had to figure it out. You going to figure it out.
That's the conversation I had with my youngest. She thinks that all this stuff her kids are doing, she never did. No, but I had to bring a real reality check, because what I said was, I'm okay with you spanking on them or whatever, but you can only do it if they did something you did not do to me. And she looked at me.
That was a good one right there.
She looked at me. She said, Mom, I said, I'm not going to watch you hit on them because you feel like, oh, I should. No, if they do something to you that you did not do to me, feel free. Knock them out if you want to. But if you did it to me, don't put your hands on them.
Yeah.
And she looked.
Like, oh, well.
Couldn't find nothing for
I won't be hitting them because I did everything under the sun.
Look, she would argue with them. She was like, you go in your room. You just, and I look at her and just laugh. I said, get him what you gave.
I'm not going to shift this to the left, but that go to your room, time out, talk to your children, don't do these certain things. I'm just not here for it.
No, it's like
I just
the teens now.
I'm here for it in my profession, my profession because I have to be. But my own children, no, you have to learn. And that I'm watching my granddaughter now, and that time out, and we're gonna talk about it, and I don't see it working, but maybe. I just don't.
Just stay with it. It will. It'll register. Yeah, it takes a little for some, a lot for others, but stay with it. It actually works.
Because the kids today, that stuff doesn't really work. They're not listening to timeout. First of all, you put them in timeout. It's like
I'm gonna play here.
Yeah. No, not play here. I'm gonna get back up. I'm not gonna stay here. So, but that's another podcast. How do you feel about the mothers today?
Me personally, I think they're having them too young, first of all, and they're afraid of their kids.
They're afraid?
I see in school, the parents are afraid of their kids. Most of them are into gangs because they're not getting what they need from home.
Oh my God!
But the parents literally are afraid of the kids. And in the school system, you see this all the time. You see that the parents, the board is afraid of the parents are afraid of the kids are not afraid of anybody. They don't care.
Wow.
They're not being supervised. They're not being chastised. They're not being put back in their place. They're just running
nothing
about.
Because they wouldn't do that timeout. It starts with timeout.
And
put them in timeout. So I just can't. I can't. But the way I feel about mothers today, I can't relate. I can't relate to them, Lynn. I can't.
I don't try.
Because they don't want you to do anything. So the best thing that they should do is stay at home with their own children. They pretend that, oh, I care so much, and I do so much, but they're wild. They're doing the most.
The mothers, they're growing up with their children because they.
It's just a lot of things that I just cannot relate to, and it doesn't make it wrong or right. I just can't relate to it. A child that can come and break into a conversation. If you and I are sitting here talking as grown-ups, and a child could walk up and say, excuse me, you better be on fire, you better be dying or bleeding. Other than that, two grown-ups are talking. We couldn't even think about it. No, let's do it. We could not do that at all. Daddy, we definitely couldn't do it with our dad. And all our mother had to do was sit there, and she could be talking, and you could be walking towards her, and she would, like, where you going? Because I know you ain't about to come over here.
The good old days.
Yeah. But now the children will come up and be, excuse me, Mom. You can be in a serious, deep conversation. Mom. And the parents will say, excuse me. And that gives that child the right to butt into but I don't understand that. I don't get it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
This is a different time.
It's just a different time. Yeah. But that stuff, that right there, I will not let my grandbaby do that because it's just old school.
We're from the boomers. We still hold on.
I just don't see how a young child could do that.
We still hold on.
And how an old person will allow them to do that.
These kids nowadays was not raised like we were.
Right.
So they don't have in them what
do you think it's right for a child to come and just...
No, I absolutely would shut it down.
Yes.
And that's just the way I am.
Me now, I just rather stop talking. Because if a grown up, like if your child right now was to come and butt into it, I'll just walk off. Because if you allow the child to come and butt into the conversation and take the conversation, and we were into something and we were whatever, I don't care what we were talking about. That child is not sick, not dying and bleeding, on fire, emergency. That child should not be walking up to us.
Hence, a child should stay in his place.
Yeah. So since the child has more to talk about than me, I'm going to go sit down. That's just how I look at it. But it doesn't make it right. It's just who I am. I'm old school. Okay. What traits you hope that you inherit from your mother? I'm going to say mine first. I hope that I got her cooking and the way that she loves. And I did get that. She loves, she gives. She was a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Absolutely.
I don't think I'm bad looking. And she huh? You said what?
I'm going to watch it. You know that text I sent you?
Yes. I was about to say it. I'm not going to say it. We have some people mad at us. Anyway, yes, my mother is very beautiful. True. But yes, those, I hope, I know that I'd inherit her looks and her hair. Oh, she has beautiful hair. Her body, loving people. My mother, she loved people, but she was very honest and assertive. I know I'm assertive. I'll tell you. No, Mom wasn't as assertive as I am. And people say I'm intimidating. That's bull crap. It's just you want to get away with shit, but you ain't going to do it. But Mom did tell you in a very nice way, you know, she'll let you know, nah. So I inherit that. What do you think for yourself?
Her attitude.
About things.
No, she just always had a great attitude.
Yeah.
Even when things were just chaotic.
Hard. When she got cancer.
Yes, she went through that like it was nothing.
Yes.
I mean, she had a great personality. She had a great spirit.
She sure did.
I don't think I've ever seen, even when we were getting whippings, a bad moment with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did some crazy stuff, playing in the house, breaking things.
No, y'all did. I told on y'all.
Oh, no.
Y'all was always playing and doing stuff and breaking stuff.
Were.
And as soon as Mom come in, they did it. They did it. The older ones, they did it. But that is, you're right. She didn't have bad days.
I don't remember.
And I'm going back to the cancer.
I don't remember.
And she had bad days because she was sick. But as far as showing, she was still trying to just
do her daily.
Oh my goodness, that's right. Okay, what is the time that what is a time your mother was your hero?
When I started dating. And when the first guy I dated, she was like, she knew he wasn't good for me. Mm-hmm. But she didn't say anything. So when it was all said and done, I said, Mom, why didn't you say anything? She said, because you make your own decisions. I'm not going to let anything happen to you, but
That made her your hero for that?
Yeah, because a mother usually, let's say you get married to somebody.
Because she told me, with my first one, she said, no, you don't need to be with him. He's crazy. See, and I did it anyway.
She didn't tell me.
But she didn't. Youngest. But she didn't say, I told you so. That's what I like.
She didn't.
She was like, okay, you had to learn.
She let you do you. And then if it's not working the way she would tell you, calmly, nicely, hey, that's not for you. But she never did. And I asked her, and she just smiled. She said, I knew. But you had to find out. And that's what I like about her. She didn't say, you're doing something stupid. She never did that. She let you see if you can work it out.
Yes.
And if you could not, then she would step in and say, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you should do. But yeah, she was never intrusive about nothing.
You know what? This dress right here, this dress I wore at Mama's 70th birthday party. Mm-hmm. And I said, it's Mother's Day, and I was actually just looking for something to come on the podcast with. And I saw Bloomingdale's bag in there, and I said, what is under here? Because it was way in the back. I hadn't worn it since then. I have not worn it. And I look in the bag, I said, this is so appropriate. It's Mother's Day. Let me put this dress on 15 years later, because this year Mother would be 85.
Mm-hmm. July.
So, yeah, this is my Mother's Day dress, y'all. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It just popped in my head. And I told y'all, I'm all over the place, but I'm doing good. I'm feeling good about it too. So hang in here with us, and hopefully you can ask these questions with your siblings or a friend or whatever, because they're pretty good. Okay, what is the time my mother was my hero? Every day.
Yes.
All the time. She was always a hero to me, to me, to me, to me. Just there. And just stepping up to the plate. Okay, what is the best compliment you could give your mother? You know?
Beautiful spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best compliment I can give my mother is, how do you say this? Just thank you.
Mm-hmm.
A compliment. Thank you for raising me the way that you did. When I was a child, I didn't understand. When I got older, I said, good God Almighty, you were the best mother ever. And the things that you said and did and taught, and the way you did it was just on time. So that's the best compliment I can give you, Mom, is that you're the best.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what is the memory you have that shows how much your mother loves you? What memory that you have that your mom showed you just how much she really loved you?
Oh, wow. It's so many.
Yeah, I have one that sticks out.
Oh, my God. I don't know. I think for me it was when I had my first child. She would say, if I was doing something wrong, she would be like, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. She wouldn't tell me how to do it. She wanted me to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when she, when it wasn't, I wasn't doing it fast enough, she'd go, let me show you. Simple, easy stuff. But she was always teaching you to learn.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. Always teaching.
Yes.
That's why I said she's always giving you the right answers, because she teach you. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what is a memory you have that shows how much your mother loves you? This memory here, I know this is a lengthy Mother's Day podcast, but if you want to hang in there, because I just want to get my stories out. It's making me feel better, and I'm glad that you're here with me, guys, and you, Lynn. Mom, we were having something at school, and I think I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, maybe younger. But anyway, I know I was young, and I told Mom we were having a field day or something for school, and Mom had to work, And I was like, Mom, can you come tomorrow for the field day? Everybody's parents going to be here. Everybody's talking about it, this, that, and the third. And they want the parents to bring a basket, and we're going to do it in a different way. Everybody's going to have their blankets, and they're going to put the blankets down and do like a picnic style. And when I told Mom that, she said, Nora, now you know I got to work. You know I got to work. I can't keep missing days, and I was just out for such and such, or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, I knew that, we didn't do the children like they do you today. They just, anyway. I was like, okay, Mom. But I was so hurt and disappointed, and I wanted her there. And I knew that the other children were going to have their parents there. And a lot of times Mama couldn't make it to a couple of things, but because she was working, but she made it to a lot.
Yeah.
But this particular one, I just wanted her there because it was a different way we were doing field day with the blankets and the whatever. So that day came, and I went to school, and we got ready to start field day, and parents are walking around with their blankets rolled up under their arm and holding their picnic basket and walking around with their children trying to find an area where they were going to sit. And they're laying out their stuff and laying out their food or whatever. And the children, because I wasn't the only one, children, mothers that didn't show, they were telling them to come over to the side, and they were going to have a big thing, and then they sit over there. They still had stuff to eat and whatever. Girl, Mama, showed up out of the blue. And I'm sitting there, actually not sitting, I was waiting, and she walked up. And I didn't even know, but the teacher was standing here and she was getting ready to get with the other. But she walks up behind me and she was like, oh my God. The feeling that I had was like, oh my gosh, Mom is standing there with her blanket under her and with that basket, and we went over to a tree and we put our stuff out, and I won't even forget the snacks that she had, because I remember I was crunching all those big puffy cheese balls, the cheese curls, and I'm just cheesing and looking at her like, you're the best mom in the whole world. She was there, and she must have called in and told them, no. I could see it in Nora's eyes. I needed to be there, and she chose me over work. And you can't choose. Back in the day, guys, you don't choose nothing over work, because work, first of all, was hard to come by, and you had to make that money. But she did. So she, that was the thing that she showed me.
Always supportive.
What advice would you give your 18-year-old self if now? 18-year-old, and the reason they chose 18-year-olds, and I think is because that's the time when you are really just acting a donkey with your parents.
It's a turning point in your life.
Yeah.
I should have just stayed on the course that I set for myself coming up here, because I came up right after high school. I came up here to go to college, but then things started spiraling out of control. Mom got sick. You guys were still in school. I had to go to work, so just study the course. If you got a plan, stick to it as close and as much as possible. It might work itself out.
Well, my 18-year-old self, I would say, you should have listened to your mother when she told you that guy was no good, that you wanted to marry, and you married his ass, and you found out that he really was no good. I'm not gonna say, I don't like to bash people and do stuff, because they're not here to defend themselves. I tell the truth. He was a good provider. He was a good husband, but he was just a mess on other things that it wasn't for me to stay there. So, but she was right. She said, you shouldn't have been with him, and I should have listened to her, and I was 18. So that's one thing I should listen to. Okay, if you could click your fingers and make one change in the world, what would it be and why?
Everybody get along.
I don't care.
Because you need peace.
Yeah. If I can click my fingers and make one change in the world, what would it be and why?
So many things come to mind, doesn't it?
Yes, I mean, and it's so many. My brain is doing like the Matrix with all those lines. It's like so many things. So if you could click your fingers and make one change in the world, what would it be and why? If I can click my fingers, I probably would say, let there be love, peace, and joy in the world with everyone, and no pain, no hurt, just love. Sort of like it was before Adam bit the apple, just in the garden and having fun and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Snap my finger and let it go back to there, to where we won't have all this sin. That's what I can say. Okay. What do you think is the key to successful relationship with your kids? What is the key?
Being open and honest at all times, no matter what.
I don't know what the key is, because I am open and honest, and I do communicate with them, and I have given them everything and then some. Growing up, that was the problem right there. I talk to them. So I don't know what the key is. I can't even answer that. I do know that it is important to communicate. That's in any relationship. However, I don't know what the key is, because they are just different. They're different, and I cannot relate to them. So I'm going to just leave it at that. I don't know. Okay, what is one thing your children have taught you? Wow.
Things are not the same.
Oh.
Get with the times.
Bam. That is so true. That is so true. They have taught us that things are not the same.
For sure.
Another thing that they have taught me is that they do know some things.
Yeah.
And they can have good sense when they want it. They just choose to not have it when, I don't know. I'm saying stuff like this because it's just different. But they have actually taught me that certain things that we did in our day doesn't even apply to this day. So you can't keep using what we did.
Right.
So I need to listen to them and say and know that, hey, it's not a bad thing. What they're saying or what they're doing, you, like you said, just you get with the time, Mom. Is you just old school, and you won't even try new school stuff because you feel like, and new school stuff is not even working. So you're just a mess. A mess, right?
In a word.
You're just a mess. Okay, what is one thing your children? Okay, that I just read that. Did you always expect to have a family while you were growing up?
Biological or birth?
It doesn't matter. Did you always expect to have a family? Did you always expect to have a family when you were growing up? Were you expecting to have a family, like children, a husband, or
no?
What?
Children, no. But I know we had a solid foundation in our home. And that was all the way to grown and gone.
Yes.
We were like thick as thieves.
Yes.
One got in trouble, everybody got in trouble.
From all the way.
Fighting to school to everything.
Okay.
But yeah.
Did you always expect to have a family? Me, being the youngest out of 6, I always wanted a family. When I was a little girl, yes, I wanted to be married. I wanted to have a family. I wanted children. Yes, I wanted all those things, and God have blessed me to have all those things, and that's really good. That's good. Okay. What was it like to be a stay-at-home mom or a working mom while raising kids? It was hard.
Real hard. Because you cannot.
We weren't the stay-at-home moms, to make that clear to you guys. We were both working moms.
You can't be in 2 places at one time. And corporate America does not understand that you want to be there for your kid. You have a job. That's all they see. Do your job. Your kid's sick, see him when you get home. That didn't work for me. Every job I ever got, I made it clear. I have small kids. If I got to go, I'm going to go. You can hire me knowing that, or you can let me go and I'll find somebody who will. But they will come before this job.
You know what's really screwed up is? There are jobs with people on them that have small children and still give you a hard time when your child gets sick, when you know it's a stomach virus going around and yours probably had it. But because you're the boss, you're like, oh, well, you probably either got a nanny or somebody else keeping the child, but she'll give you a hard time and say, well, no, you don't have any POT time. You can't get off. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I've never.
I have one like that now.
Huh?
I'm working with one like that now.
Ooh. Okay, if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently?
No kids.
You would have no kids? Oh my gosh.
No.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't plan it. I had a plan for my life, and it was to come to Atlanta with my family and to go to school. It didn't work that way. I ended up working because we had to get our own, we came in, we was living with mom's sister. And that didn't work out, so we had to get our own place.
Right.
At the time, mom was by herself, so I thought, I'll go to work and help mom while y'all two were still in school. And then she got sick, then she got her own job. It was just one thing after another, so I never actually got the opportunity to go to school. Because from that point, I continued to work, and then down the line, I started having my kids.
Right.
So that made it even harder. But I was still able to go to work, and I did. But it wasn't easy.
Oh, well, if I could do it all over again, what would I do different? I would absolutely do everything that was done the same exact way, except for when I had my children, I wouldn't give them shit. I would make them work for everything that they wanted, needed, or whatever. When they,
That's the way we were brought up.
But they, I think the reason they are so rotten, entitled, and just disrespectful is because of everything I gave. I just gave. I wanted easy for them. I just wanted them to just not feel anything but love, joy, peace. They didn't even have to learn anything because I'm right there with the answers. That's insane. I was crazy, but I wanted my children so bad, and I loved them so much. I thought that I was just doing okay. Now, and those things made my husband and I bump head a lot because he was like, "Why are you giving them that?" Well, they asked for it. They don't get everything they ask for. And I was like, "Well, they can if I have it." And then I would do it. I messed up because today I don't think it's appreciated. Half of the stuff they act like they don't remember. And it's just terrible. So that's what I would do over again because God's plan is perfect. He definitely knew that I was supposed to have children after 30 because in my 20s, they wouldn't have had no life. I was just mature enough to do the right things. And I know I'm a good mother. I know that I gave my all and I still am. I'm doing everything. However, that's where I messed up. I know where I messed up is giving them everything. Where do you think you messed up as a mother?
Absolutely.
Where did you mess up?
Same thing.
Okay.
I gave them more
giving them
than
everything.
Deserved.
Y'all better listen to us. Don't give them kids nothing. Make them work for it.
They became
at 3.
They became comfortable with getting and not giving.
Yes. And now they feel like, you're supposed to give it to me.
Yeah.
You gave it to me at 3, see? You gave it to me at 3, you gave it to me at 5, 7, 9, 10, 15, all the way up. And even now as adults, they get in trouble, you bail them out. So it's like, hey, you've been giving it to me. So when you won't give it to me, now I hate you. You're just terrible. You're this and that and the third, just like a little brat, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I got real personal with that, didn't I?
You have some who are still humble. Mm-hmm. They're humble, they're patient, they have not been probably given as much. Mm-hmm. You do appreciate more with less.
Yes, that's absolute. Guys, that is experiment with that. I'm just saying from experiment. I know experience. My dad and my mom, they gave us what we needed. You ain't gonna just get what you want. Sometimes you did, but especially me being the youngest, they were tired and they was just doing whatever. But my children, both of them, I gave them everything. They did not want, did not need, all of that. And I am paying for it, guys. Paying for it now because I'm thinking that this is just insane. It's just insane. The stuff that they say and do, part of it is the time. It's a new era. But part of it is disrespect. Part of it is feeling entitled. But we're going to pull that back because we're talking about Mother's Day. And I'm a mother, so I can still talk about...
That's a part of mother.
Okay, what is the funniest story you have about your mother? What is the funniest story?
When I used to go on Fish Fries on Fridays and bring the kids, she would always have my youngest to sit in a chair. And before she'd get to it, she said,
Fish fries. You said fish fries when you go to Mama's?
Yes.
Oh, because Mama do every Friday. My mother used to
like, sit right here. And then she'll wait till she sit down. And she goes, why are you sitting there? And everybody be cracking up. She said, I told you to sit over there. And then she would look like, did she tell me that? I said, Mom, why you do that? You told her to sit over there. She told me, I know. But she used to prank her all the time.
Okay.
All the time. And it used to be funny till she would just start going to the other side of the table and sit. But yeah, Mom was funny.
Yeah, she was. What is the funniest story that you have about your mom? Funny. What is the funniest? When she was at that daggone thing, it's a renter place. It was a renter's place where, like Aaron's Rent, you can get a TV. And I'm gonna make this story short. Mom went in there for the man to fix the TV because it wasn't working. And the man said, I think Mom had not paid her bill or whatever. Gary was with her. And Gary put the TV down. And Mom said, you're going to need to fix it. The reason I haven't been paying you is because the daggone thing doesn't work. So if you want to fix it, then you can get some money. But how am I going to pay for something that's not working? And so the man said, no, but you've already missed such and such payment. My mom said, well, okay, well, we're going to just take this right on back home with us. And so the guy was like, no, you're going to leave it here. Mom looked at Gary and said, pick that TV up, Gary, and don't you put that TV down. And so Gary is picking the TV up, and the guy that works says, Gary, put that TV back down. That's our TV. And Gary looked over, and Mama looked at him and said, if you put that damn TV down in here, ain't nobody gonna be able to pick it up, or something like that. He picked that TV up, and Mama and me and Gary walked out of that store and took that TV, and it was so funny to me because Mom didn't care. She did not care.
I tell you, she's a very strong woman.
Okay, what do you do? What do you most look forward to in the future with your children, I guess?
I had to add that part.
Yeah, I had to add that part.
Well, that they walk in a better light. You know, yeah. Do better with their lives and their kids.
I pray that they learn, and that they make really good decisions. Think about it. And you don't try stuff anymore. You got to know it. Don't sit and say, I wonder if what will happen, especially if you know it. Don't try it. Don't just do the right thing.
Protect your children at all costs. They come first.
Okay, what do you most, what is something you used to or still do that's not a big deal? Wait a minute, I gotta read this right. I'm just, see, my son said, Mom, your brain goes faster than what you're seeing, and you're trying to say.
Why do you say that?
And I need to stop that. Why? What?
Because my doctor said the same thing. He said your brain is not communicating with your body.
But every time I read, I'm reading it, but my brain is going, and he told me, stop, slow down and read what you see. And I'm trying to read okay.
Stop reading for that reason.
What is something you use to or still make too big of a deal about? What do you make a big deal about with your children? You just make a big deal. You used to, and you still do. What is it?
Messy house.
Hell yeah. Woo, yes.
That runs me to the end of the earth. I cannot stand it.
Why?
Because they are comfortable with leaving.
No. I'm saying, why do we still have to deal with that now?
Right.
Though? A messy house. I concur. I agree. Okay, if you could change one thing about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Mom being able to spend more time with us. She did work a lot.
Yeah. And what I said, I wish they would have talked to us more.
See, they didn't get that opportunity. Because, I talked to Rita, our bigger sister, and I said, Rita, you know what? I said, Mom was never there for us.
Yes, she was.
She looked at me with this look like mother. She goes,
are you crazy?
Lynn, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. She said, Mom had to work. That's how we got everything. She had to work, and she did it by herself. I was like, you know what? All this time I was thinking she just wasn't there. And my kids said the same thing to me.
That you're not there.
I gave them everything. And she said, no, you didn't. I said, so explain. I said, did you miss a birthday, a Christmas, a holiday, a New Year, a party, anything? No. I said, then what? You always work. Which is why I say you will live. Mm-hmm.
And now what is she doing?
What you gave. Same thing.
Always working, trying to make sure that your younger ones have those football games and those baseball games and having to pay for dues and school stuff. But circle of life.
Absolutely.
The circle of life.
You will see it in your lifetime.
Okay.
What you did.
Let me see. What is something you used to or still make too big of a deal? I used to make a big deal of, I still make a big deal of a lot of stuff. But the main thing is, I think when you're trying to talk over me. When I'm talking, be quiet. Don't talk. Even now. When you were young, you didn't do it because I wouldn't allow it, but now, yeah. But making a big deal out of something, the children couldn't be able to tell me really. I just can't think of anything.
Making a big deal?
What did I make a big deal of? Oh, well. Okay.
Your time conscience. You don't like to be late.
Oh, they know that. No, I'm not going to be late. Okay, and I think I went backwards. I had already answered that. If you could change one thing about the way you were raised, what could it be? I asked that one. If I could change one thing about the way I was raised, what would it be? Change it. The only thing I can think of is Mom. I would rather them had talked a lot more. But guess what? They did in the older years. When I got older, oh my gosh, the stuff that they poured into me. But I wish they had did it when I was younger as well. Because young, you have to build that foundation. The foundation was built, but yeah, certain things they should have just came and explained why and stuff, because you're feeling a certain way and they're saying no. And you're like, why are you saying no? You're just me. I know you got the money. I saw you buy it in the grocery store, you know.
But that's why they give it to you at an older age, because at a young age, you're not listening. You're not paying attention. You're doing your own thing. It sits with you. It resonates with you when you're older.
Okay. What is the one day that you'll never forget with your mom? One day that stands out so bad.
When we went to the hospital and they had to stop her heart. That bothers me even to today, even though she's gone. They had to stop her heart and restart it.
That I don't remember that. I remember the one day that I will never forget is watching her on Zoom. That was our last time seeing her.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't?
No.
You weren't there? I saw everybody in Zoom.
I had the camera on.
Oh, okay. Because it was on. I thought
I watched about maybe 6-7 minutes, and then I
okay. Because everybody said things to her, you know. But that was that's one thing. And I don't want to talk about that. What is your earliest childhood memory? My earliest? Almost drowning in a pool. Remember when we were at Grandma's? And y'all was supposed to be watching me? Yeah. And I was young. And somebody pushed me in the damn pool.
I can't remember, but I do.
And I said, somebody jumped in there and saved me. But when I got out, I said, all of y'all in trouble. I'm going to tell Mama. And she beat all of y'all.
Yeah, we did get group whippings.
What was your, do you have one or can you remember?
What was the question again?
The question was, what is your earliest childhood memory? And that's hard because the earliest one, that's when you're young and it's hard.
Getting what I wanted for Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yes. I just knew we were going to, because there were so many of us, I didn't think we were going to get.
No, we always got good stuff.
But what she would do is give you something you didn't ask for.
Oh, okay.
And you'd be like, and then she'll come out with what you asked for.
Well, I guess those days were over with me because I remember Christmas. I always
you did get everything.
I always got what I wanted. I mean, and then some. It was like I just knew it. Yeah. So, did you have a happy childhood?
Oh, absolutely, wonderful one.
I think we just had the best.
Yes. With
6 of us. Okay, let me. This is the last one. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned from your mother? What's the most valuable lesson? Mama always said, if somebody else can do it, you can do it. And don't you tell yourself you cannot. Just keep trying. And I'm still that way to this day. As seasoned as I am, certain things that I'm doing right now, I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm saying, now you know, you ain't got no business trying this. And Mama's right here saying, if they did it, you can do it. So.
Mine was when I was pregnant, I wasn't sure about having the baby. And she was like, what you not sure about? I said, Mom, I don't know much about mothering. And she said, you'll learn. And I did just that. I learned. Because a lot of this time, people don't plan it. And when it happens, they're like, some go with it and they're good. And some panic because they don't know what the next step is.
And they still do that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's one thing you're most grateful for about your mother or a mother figure? What are you grateful for? Oh. This is the last question.
Grateful and blessed to have her as long as we did. I'm so blessed and so thankful for that we got 80 years with her.
We didn't have 80. We were, don't tell my age, but...
No, I'm saying she was, what, 15 days out from
she was, I think it was 5 days or so out from her birthday. However, but we were all real seasoned. And I'm grateful for the same thing you are, is that God allowed us to have her till we were fully grown and she saw our children as well. That's what I'm seriously grateful about. Guys, I know that this was a very long, lengthy Mother's Day podcast. And if you have time, sit down and just listen to the questions and ask yourself and try to answer some of the questions that I asked. And if you're going through what I go through every Mother's Day, where it's almost a depression kind of thing, but it's not depression. I'm not depressed. I'm just, my daughter said, Mom, you're still grieving. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand that. I really don't.
It takes time.
Golly, it's been 5 years and I still, but she said, you don't tell grieve when to go. You just have to, go through it. But I do feel a lot better that I did this because it was already getting rough for me. I don't even like to watch commercials or whatever. And I just burst out in tears the other day and I cried darn near the whole day. And my daughter is the only one that will come in and she already know. She's like, Mom, it's okay. But I get mad because I'm crying because I was like, I don't want to cry. I'm okay with it, and I accepted it. Mm-hmm. So why am I feeling this way? But she said, you can't, just go with it. And then my life coach and someone else said, just start doing stuff, talking about it, whatever it takes. So I said, let me do a podcast with my sister and see how you feel about. You feel about some of the things and it did make me feel good, guys. I still feel kind of numb. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I do, and I laughed. So with that said, if you guys, first of all, happy Mother's Day. And if there is anyone out there that is going through a lot because they just lost their mother or they lost their mother before, long ago, or their mother is going through something,
talk to someone.
Yeah, and know that, just be there and get those memories in, because when they're gone, the memories are the things that you hold on to. And for the dummies out there, because you're there, please know that don't treat your mom any kind of way and be bad to her, because it's just not a good thing. And I don't care how you think that, whatever she did to me, I'm not going to worry about it and I'm not going to feel no kind of way because she was just a mean, bad mom. Trust and believe. When your mother is gone, you're going to feel it.
Yes.
So try your best. If she was there and fed your butt, clothed you, and you had a roof over your head, and she wasn't just abusing you and beating you and doing you terribly wrong, you owe her to be respectful and just be there and do the right things. I'm not trying to lecture anyone out there. I'm just trying to let you know that your mom is all you have, and when she's gone, there is not a soul other than God that's gonna love you like your mother. Your father might love you, because my dad loved me. Oh my goodness. Yes. But the mother carried you, and there is something different about that. So just be good to your mother. Go tell her you love her. Spend that time all the time. Don't say, well, nah, I don't feel like going over to mama's today. I don't feel like go. But let me stop because I'm babbling. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, feel the rumble and listen to the roar. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.